But anyway, so these animals, Rabotai Karim, these animals have bad nature. And when a person eats this bad-natured animals, those bad-natured animals turn into his blood, turn into him, turn into her. Which means what? They become bad-natured. You eat the pork sandwich, guess what? You are going to acquire the worst possible character traits known to man, because the pig has the worst nature of all. It's literally such an impure animal that a Jew is not even allowed to raise a pig to sell to the goyim. Now, you're allowed to have a zoo and have a lion in it if you want. You're allowed, even if you're a Jew. You're allowed, if you want to have a pet store and sell mice, go ahead, have a good time. It's not exactly, I don't know if it's very lucrative or not. I guess maybe because your product is free, you get it from the street or the subways. But the point is that but if you have a farm, you're not allowed to have a pig. Why? It's such an impure animal. Not allowed to raise a pig. Now, the pig, Rabotai Karim, is such a disgusting animal. It literally eats everything. Literally. Diapers, with stuff in them, animals, people, anything you throw at it, it eats. It bathes in manure, it bathes in filth, and it's such an impure animal, it doesn't sweat. Now the way we, and pretty much almost all animals, excrete the poison from our body, one of the ways is sweat. A lot of the poison you have in your body exits your body through sweat. That's why, for example, if you have some type of virus or something like that, and you have a high temperature, eventually you're waiting for the temperature to break. What does it mean, temperature to break? You start sweating profusely. Why? Because that means that stuff is leaving, the poison is leaving your body finally. If you're not sweating, it's very dangerous. The pig does not sweat. Now this means that all of the poison that it eats, all of the disgusting germs, the bacteria, the filth that it eats never exits its body. Now what does that mean? That means that his skin is so poisonous that even if a cobra, a snake, the most poisonous snake, the cobra, bites the pig, nothing happens to the pig. In fact, they throw snakes into the pits of the pigs because the snakes can't do anything to them, so they eat them. Could be the biggest, most poisonous snake in the world, can't do nothing to the pig. Now what part of the pig do people love eating? The skin. The most poisonous part. This is why, and I've seen this with my own eyes, if you take a piece of pig steak and you take regular cow steak and you buy them from the best butcher in town, wherever you have, you take both of them, you pour Coca-Cola on them. Within a matter of literally moments, you're going to see maggots come out of the pig steak. Always, even if it was just slaughtered 5 seconds ago, that'll make a difference. There are always, by default, always maggots inside its skin. That's how poisonous it is. And people eating this, bacon, egg, and cheese, yummy, 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 and then they wonder why they have cancer. In fact, Rabotai, I saw an expert chef say it in his own words. Even if the pig has cancer, they still sell it. With the cancer. So the whole thing is poisonous. With cancer, without cancer, the whole thing's poisonous. It doesn't make a difference. And people are wondering why there's such high cancer rate. Now, aside from that, the pig is a very vicious animal. Very bad-natured animal. And people that eat much of it have that same nature. When it comes to cleanliness, when it comes to just their behavior overall, their vicious mentality, and so on and so forth. You'd noticed that some of the most vicious nations throughout history loved it as a food. The Russian communists love pig. Just as a side note, they love pig. And that's why their mentality is very, very different than many of the other nations. So, because the pig turns to blood, and the cow turns to blood, and this one, everything turns to blood, it turns into the person, and in essence, that turns into the person literally. The nature of that animal is starting to affect the person itself, which is the reason why when a person starts doing tshuva and they start eating kosher, within a relatively short period of time you start seeing that the person's nature starts changing. It's not because he's become so studious and he read 5 books. Although those books are really good and they may have helped him, that's not the main thing that has changed him that much. Even if the books helped his character traits to realize that anger is not good, how come his face looks softer? How come his eyes look softer? How come he just looks softer? He used to look like he's about to kill you just by looking at you. Now he looks like Saba Geppetto, looks like a nice little guy. Wow, what happened? Yesterday you look like you were killing people for a living. Today you look like you're giving people bachot. What happened? The blood is different. The blood is different. It's had enough time to let all of the impure blood leave and be replaced by kosher blood. And the animals that you eat are much, much softer. Much softer, and thereby they have an impact on the person.